Cory was the last one to know that he might be the father of Kimberly's baby. She hid her pregnancy, and now she's claiming that Cory is the father of her 18-month-old son. But Cory has doubts and wants to know why she waited so long to tell him. Cory, tell me why you're here.
Well, I'm here because I got a screenshot on a Facebook message the day this child was born. And it said, hey, you're the father. I said, okay. All right, well, let's get this rocking and rolling. Then I get another text about 2 days later. Hey, it's not your child, the other person, I know who it is. We got it figured out. I'm sorry that
And this is Kimberly screenshot of you?
No, she didn't screenshot, her friend did.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, well, you found out who the father is, good job, good for you. No harm, no foul, Well, about 13 months later, I get a whole nother story. Well, hey, the other guy, he did a DNA test finally. It's not his. You're the only other possibility. I said, okay. 13 months later. 13 months, then you wanted to do a DNA test. All right. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Steve. I used to be a real bad alcoholic. I used to drink a lot. That's back, when I had met her, through my partying days and everything. We used to party together. Friends with benefits, like that.
So it never was a serious relationship?
No, sir. I decided to cut things off and cut down on my drinking. 5 months later, here we are. I'm sitting here thinking, we got to get something going. I'm missing out on too much of this child's life. If this child is mine, 18 months have gone by, and I ain't been there, man.
Have you seen the child?
Twice. Once because I begged her to bring him over, and then the second time when I called y'all show and y'all set up a DNA test, she couldn't get there. She had an excuse or whatever, so I said, screw it. I went and picked her up myself and brought her.
So you're here today to finally find out if this little guy is yours.
He's a beautiful baby boy, man. He deserves a father. This ain't about me. This ain't about her, man. It's about that baby.
The 2 times you've seen the boy, how did it feel?
First time, I didn't show it, while he was there, but after he left, I cried my eyes out. I seen resemblance, Steve. I'm not enough to sit there and say, that is my child, no doubt, but enough to sit there and say, let's get a DNA test,
There's a good chance he might be mine, right?
Yeah. I want to be a father, Steve. I don't want to miss out anymore.
Would this be your first child?
Yes, sir.
Here you might have a son that's 18 months old, and you've seen him twice, and you missed out on so much.
I missed his first birthday, man, his steps, his first word. I don't even know what it is still, Steve.
Why aren't you seeing him more?
Because she does not have a job nor a car, and my license is suspended currently due to a surcharge.
So it's a mutual
thing
that
as
it's
far
hard.
as vehicle and
so she's not
transportation.
keeping them from you.
No, I'm not saying she's keeping them from me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that she's neglectful to the fact of, we need to get this DNA rock and roll. She always has an excuse. I had to beg her to come out here, Steve, beg her. She backed out multiple times, including...
Why do you think that is, that she keeps backing out of trying to take this DNA test? I mean, it worries me to think like maybe she's just stringing you along.
She may be, Steve, but I'm not going to call her a liar until I hear the results.
Does she ask you for money? You help?
I'll be honest, Steve, no. I don't help, but she does ask for money.
Then why don't you give her some money?
I mean, most of the time it's, hey, can you send me $60 for a pack of diapers and some wipes, and I need some cigarettes. And in my head, I'm thinking, I know the cost of living about where I live. It don't cost $60 for a pack of diapers and wipes, and I'm not going to support your cigarette habit. Get a job.
Before I bring Kimberly out, any chance you guys getting back together?
No.
No. All right, let's meet Kimberly.
How are you going to sit there and turn that around on me? I told you when he was born. I told you there was 2 possibilities. I had to beg you for your address for you to come see him.
I find that funny.
How you find that funny?
So, explain to me, how'd you have to beg me for my address?
I had to ask you what your address was. You finally sent it to me.
I moved 3 times. I moved 3 times, and before I even moved out of that house, out of any house, I gave you the address of the new address I was going to be at.
And then you told me you were going to come see him every time and never did.
I want to see him, but you expect me to drive 3 hours that way to pick him up and back with no vehicle. I mean, come on. Meet me halfway.
I I drove the whole way to come see you just so you
Who paid
could
the
see
gas
him.
money? Who paid the gas money?
My best friend did.
Play again. I'm not your best friend, so
My best guy friend, you didn't pay nothing.
Why so much time passing until you even gave him a hint that he might be a father?
I told him when I first found out I was pregnant, and he's the one that wanted to sit there and say, well, he's not mine.
When you first got pregnant?
Yes.
But then you didn't say anything to him again until you gave birth.
And so I found out what I was having and everything.
And then you said, hey, it's your child, right? Your
Yes.
friend screenshotted him or whatever.
Yes.
But then a couple days later, you're like, nope, not yours.
I told him there was 2 possibilities from the beginning. Me
But
and
how
that
did you
dude,
determine after giving birth whose child it was?
because he looked just like him when he was born.
The other guy.
No, him.
Oh, him.
Yes.
And then 2 days later, you had a change of heart.
No.
Well, then why 2 days later, you're not the dad?
Because I figured there was 2 possibilities, so I wanted to be sure. We took a DNA test, and he was 0%.
So the other guy took a DNA test 2
Yes.
days later?
Yes.
Okay, but then he said he didn't find out till much later that he was the dad.
I tried to keep up with him. He wouldn't keep
How?
up with me. Facebook, your phone.
my phone, but you didn't have my phone number. I never got a phone call. I pay my bill. I need my phone for work, obviously, so I'm gonna get phone calls. Okay, not once did yours come in.
Okay.
Not once, not a text message. I want to be there for my son. I want to be there for my son. But if he's not my son, then you're just wasting my time. Not just my time, his time too. He needs a father. Point blank period, he needs a father.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out for him, so he doesn't grow out without a father.
What do you see as a relationship with your son with Cory if it turns out he is the dad?
I hope he's there for him.
He
I
hope
hope he
he
shows
seems
him
like
the
he wants to
attention.
be there.
I don't care what we are. I just want him to have a father.
And
Be
how
there
tough
for his
has it
son.
been for you to be raising the small boy all on your own?
Very hard, because he does say dada sometimes. His first word was mama, and then it was dad. I have to see him run around, and he has friends that have mommy and daddy. He doesn't know what to do when he sees that.
We're here to find out if Cory is the father of your son. He's 18 months now. Cory's only seen the little boy twice. And if this turns out it is Cory's son, this would be your first child. And the results of that DNA test, Cory, is that you are the father of Kimberly's.
What am I gonna say when I'm not in his first birthday picture? What am I gonna say when I told him I had to drag you on a show? I've tried nothing but the hardest. I'm sorry I didn't give you no money when you wanted it.
I don't care about the money. I care about you stepping up and being there for him now.
I'm going to, and I'm gonna be the best dad I can be.
Well, you both made some decisions in your past that probably you're not very proud of, and seems like you're both overcoming, which is a good thing. Hopefully you're both heading in the right direction. It's sad that you weren't part of your son's life for the first 18 months, but I think when your son gets older, it won't be a big deal to him because he's not going to have memories from this period in his life anyways. So as he becomes more cognizant of his life and you're involved and you're there now, I think that's going to be the most important thing. And the two of you working in conjunction with raising this little boy, even though you're not together, listen, you got a whole opportunity. I know you got robbed of 18 months, but now you make the most of it. You're a dad, you're a first-time dad. That's the most exciting thing that could ever happen to you. And you could be the best dad ever to your son, and the only memories that he'll have of you are fond ones. It sucks for you, but it's not so bad for him because he's not going to remember this. Anything you want to say to him?
Do you want to see your son after the show?
Yeah, I want to see him for the rest of my life.
Congratulations. Hey, I'm glad you want to come here.